Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will officially resign today from her U.S. Senate seat, ending her 4-year Senate career, according to a Harris aide. The move comes 2 days before she's inaugurated on Wednesday, making history as the first female, first black, and first South Asian vice president. Aides say Harris has already started the process of having her resignation, having notified California Governor Gavin Newsom of her intent and sent her formal indications that she'll be resigning on Monday. Harris will not give a farewell speech on the Senate floor due to the schedule. Harris won her seat in November 2016 and was sworn in January 2017. At the time, Harris was California's Attorney General. Harris made history throughout her career, becoming the first black woman in California to serve as a senator.
Okay, in more Kamala news, Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will be sworn into office by Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor on a Bible that once belonged to the first African-American to serve on the Supreme Court, Thurgood Marshall. A source familiar with the plans told The Hill. Harris has credited both justices as inspirations for her career. Harris chose Sotomayor, the High Court's first Latina member, because she was inspired by her background in civil rights as well as her past work as a prosecutor, an experience they both share, the source said. The vice president-elect has previously admired Marshall as one of her biggest heroes. Some of my greatest heroes were lawyers: Thurgood Marshall, Charles Hamilton Houston, Constance Baker Motley, giants of the civil rights movement, she wrote in The Truths We Hold, a memoir she penned in 2019, according to ABC News. So much on this, as we know. So I think it was 9 a.m. this morning, she resigned from her Senate seat, 9 a.m. PST. And then also we know that Newsom, he appointed Alex Padilla, and Alex Padilla is going to be sworn in on Wednesday. So just a couple of pieces that I wanted to add there. And then we also know that Shirley Weber is going to replace Padilla, and then she's also going to be the first black person to hold the role in California. So I have some of our soulmates, in case you guys weren't just aware. We've kind of touched on some of that, but just a couple of updates on what's going on with that.
Okay, it's pretty awesome. All right.
All right. The FBI is screening all 25,000 National Guard troops heading to D.C. as fears mount among defense officials that those responsible for security at the inauguration could participate in an insider attack. Now, as the AP reports, this screening effort comes as D.C. has beefed up its security ahead of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration on Wednesday and after the deadly pro-Trump riot at the Capitol on January 6th. Army Secretary Ryan McCarthy told the AP Sunday officials are aware of the potential risk and commanders have been instructed to keep an eye out for any issues among their troops. We're told National Guard members are also being trained on how to find any threats within their ranks. The Army Secretary called the inauguration a national priority, saying we want to send a message to everyone in the United States and for the rest of the world that we can do this safely and peacefully. I want to ask you all this because doesn't it seem like something like this should be standard for all military members, for all police?
Absolutely.
If this would wipe out a significant number of police officers around our country. And that is not my opinion. That's based on what we've seen on Facebook, what the type of reports and investigations that we've seen going into some of these police departments. That's what we've seen as far as people getting in trouble. I think it's interesting that it took a threat on white people for this to happen because black people have been sounding the alarm about this for decades.
Absolutely. I agree. And you think about after what happened on January the 6th, and yes, we feel like it's an inside job. And yes, some of these people that serve in our service, unfortunately, may be involved or may know about it to a certain degree. So it's important they would do background checks. A friend of mine that grew up in the Midwest, he now lives in Winnipeg. He lives in Canada. I don't know why he's still there. COVID is. But anyway, he just said, man, he said the United States just looks suspect right now. People are looking at the country like, y'all are really dropping the ball. You're supposed to be the leader of the free world. You're not any of that right now. We really look bad because of what Trump has done to the administration, to our country.
The FBI is a joke right now. The reality of the situation is that they have known for years, well over 10 years, that white supremacists and nationalists have infiltrated the military and law enforcement on every level for a long time now. So the fact that this is the measures that they're taking only because the Capitol was stormed and an insurrection took place is a joke.
And you know, Brooke, you made a great point. Before I say what great point Brooke made, just really quick, they went through a 3-hour security drill for the inauguration. Right now, the FBI is saying that there are no problems, that no problems have surfaced yet. So I don't know
Right.
what, I don't know how a 3-hour, security drill, but they said that there's no problems as of yet. But
back
Brooke
to that good point that I made.
Yeah, but back to your good point. I am not going to forget about your good point. Your good point was just how you were saying, like, this should be standard. You know, a couple of things that they're going to do now for the officers. They're going to run their names through databases and watch lists to find if there's any concerning associations. Like you're saying, like, things like this should have been standard. Like, they should have already been seeing if they're involved in any investigations of terrorism related issues and groups and things like that. Like, this is standard. Like, why are we just now starting this? Like, how come, this should have been started years ago?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine one rogue officer who, I don't know, might just happen to be a sniper, and during the inauguration, he does the unthinkable and points his high-powered rifle with his skill set towards, the dais where the festivities are happening. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's
When
like
you want to
movie
think
like.
terrifying.
Like,
Yeah.
this is the stuff that we've seen in movies, but after January 6th, it now seems completely plausible.
So we're asking ourselves, how did we get here?
Yeah.
We kind of know. We kind of know.
know.
We're probably saying, why did we
You're
get here?
right.
More so why? Yeah, more so why?
Republican Senator James Langford of Oklahoma apologized to black voters in Tulsa for questioning the results of the presidential election. One of the only members of the GOP to publicly repent in the wake of last week's riot on the U.S. Capitol by Trump. My action of asking for more election information caused a firestorm of suspicion among many of my friends, particularly in black communities around the state, he wrote in a letter. What I did not realize was all the national conversation about states like Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Michigan was seen as casting doubt on the validity of votes coming out of predominantly black communities like Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Detroit. Langford called the lapse in judgment a blind spot.
I'm not. It's just infuriating.
So he's up for re-election in 2022.
No. That's a lie. Forget the re-election. That's not what the problem is.
But you ain't let me get to the
I was
problem
where you were gonna say,
because you got to think about it. Do we applaud him for a minute?
No.
Let me finish. Oklahoma, right? That's a red state. Trump won that by double the amount. So he's probably done the fact that he came out and said, look, we were wrong. So he's trying to get his mind right, trying to show face. I get that. Should we applaud him for that?
No, because he lied. He either lied to them or he told them that he has never been paying attention to them. His words, I did not realize something that it was so blatant. We exist in Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma. Me and Charlie Wilson. Okay, listen, we exist. The issues that affect us exist.
It was the blind spot.
Him calling it a blind spot is deeply offensive because he is either standing in front of a group of black people and blatantly lying to them, or he is saying, I did not care enough about you to know about you. He's saying he doesn't have the education or he's lying. Either way, he should not be an elected official.
I have another possibility. Is that the people, the company that created the voting the equipment.
You're talking about Dominion?
Exactly. They have filed a ton of lawsuits against GOP members who have and cease and desist, like basically defamation of character, defamation lawsuits. That's why.
Okay.
I think he's about to get hit in his pockets. I think that's really actually what happened. They filed a whole bunch of lawsuits against GOP members.
How the Trumpsters going to feel, though, now that he said this? Because he's not going to have the support moving forward, right?
They're all saying this because the people took their hoods off and stormed the Capitol
and
embarrassed them all and shamed them all and said, no, this is what we've been talking about the whole time. The black people saying it's about black people, it was. And now they're having to back off from it because it's embarrassing. It's shameful.
Yeah, it really
but
is.
him saying, I didn't realize it. That does not work for me.
Absolutely not. Well, if you have a car accident, you can't say I hit him because I had my blind spot didn't work. Like, we can't use the word blind spot. Okay. I just want to add that. Okay. Now taking it to our YouTube soulmates, we have a first-time soulmate joining us today, Cornelius Hill. He says, hey y'all, I love it here. First time here, so welcome. Marco Polo says, I have to say that voting this time really made me realize how much the local voting is very important. We've definitely been talking about that. So good job for you. And then also one more, Maria Hale says, I am enjoying this show and we are happy that you're here, Maria. Keep on commenting because we are super live every single day at 4 p.m. and I'll make sure your comment makes it to the live show. In the meantime, Melissa, let us know what's coming up next.
The resiliency, culture, and heroism of Black Americans and the African diaspora will be the central theme of a virtual event Tuesday that will celebrate the nation's diversity on the eve of President-elect Joe Biden's inauguration, according to the Associated Press. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris is slated to speak at the event, We Are One, which will also honor the historic nature of her being the first Black and South Asian woman to become U.S. Vice President. Black voters nationwide helped deliver Biden's presidency, overwhelmingly supporting him from the start of his White House bid. Black-led organizing work across the nation galvanized voters of color and contributed to historic turnout in key battleground states. Tony Allen, CEO of the inaugural committee, said the programming will honor acts of resilience, heroism, and commitment to unity from Black, Latino, Asian American, and Pacific Islander communities as the coalitions that make up our nation come together to celebrate a new chapter in our history. Several of the nation's top Black leaders will deliver remarks, including House Majority Whip Jim Clyburn, a close ally of Biden, whose endorsement in South Carolina widened Biden's winning margin and started his avalanche of March primary victories. Among other speakers, Stacey Abrams, whose voter registration and education efforts helped flip Georgia blue for Biden, Rep. Cedric Richmond, Congressional Black Caucus Chair Rep. Joyce Beatty, Senator Cory Booker, and the incoming senator from Georgia, Reverend Raphael Warnock. The event will pay homage to the legacy of the nation's historically Black colleges and universities, as well as Black sororities and fraternities. Harris is the first HBCU graduate and Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority member to be vice president.
Say that.
That's great. The event is part of 5 planned days of programming under the inaugural's theme of America United. It will air Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on social media and on select channels, including Urban One, Revolt TV, and the Choice Channel on Peacock Universal streaming service.
It was the way she just drug out the Alpha Kappa Alpha. So it was just like,
that?
She was
it was
gassing
doing
you a
something
little bit,
for
huh?
me. You know, it was doing something for me. But I just want to remind you guys, everyone, since we're talking about the inauguration, I'm going to drill this in your minds that Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock a.m. PST, we will be going live talking all things inauguration right here on the Black Report. So on Fox Soul, on Fox Soul's Black Report, same thing. So make sure you guys tune in to us. I'm over the moon. I just can't wait.
I'm sleeping here at the studio. Because that, I'm just gonna find.
It's gonna be an all-day event for us.
Yeah. I mean, like the night before. I'm just not.